Hey guys, this is Don with Poseidon Deep Water Outdoors, and it's not how I want to do this. Hey guys, Don with Poseidon Deep Water Outdoors. Today I thought what we would do is sit down and have a small discussion about a growing topic that's coming out of some of my friends over in Europe, as well as here locally in the Philippines from some of the Asian communities. And it's a discussion relative to what is it that needs to be refined in the dive industry as far as instructors and delivery. Well, I'm not so sure that there's that much of an argument on that. The model and the way instruction has been developed has been under this concept of what, a dive professional is. And if we're gonna discuss upgrading, standards or the quality of instruction or what an instructor is, then we have to have that conversation is a instructor in the dive industry an educator? And when we start referring to them as educators, that standard and that level of education has to be greater, okay? And I'm looking at a lot of the forums, and what they're talking about is experience as far as the instructor being just fundamentally a good diver, and that's true. That is accurate. Buoyancy skills, navigation skills, all of these concepts need to be sharp on the edge of what that instructor is. These are just baseline fundamental skill sets. Obviously, if you're a math teacher, you're going to be good at math. Obviously, if you're going to be a math teacher, you need to be good at math. That being said, now we have to come over to another realm of what being an educator is, and that's the psychology and the application of teaching. So, in today's day and age, especially here in the Philippines, a lot of locals look to going to be a dive master or a dive instructor because this is a great avenue to inject an income source while doing something that they're passionate. So if we look at things, let's remove the passion of diving outside of being an instructor. Fundamentally, making money on it is something that is a driving force behind it. Do you make a lot of money being a dive instructor? No. You don't. There's not a lot of money in it. I think I just busted the bubble of a lot of people out there. That concept of, exotic travel and affording to do it and making a living being a dive instructor, that ain't there. In today's day and age, with the current status of what being a dive instructor is, it is something that you're doing more out of a love for it than you are for money. But with these conversations and the elevation of standardizing instruction, now you're opening the door to something. If we're gonna go over to the realm as being dive educators, there needs to be a level of a degree plan in the application of, education psychology, those kind of standards, which is going to force a higher pay which is going to start driving an already expensive industry probably out of reach for quite some time with the current economic sources. So I challenge people and caution people to first think about what they're saying and the logic behind it, and understand what they're saying. If it gains momentum, you're going to change the course of what things are now. You know, we are passionate. I would, you know, when I instruct to a higher standard because of my need and my desire to produce dive students or divers that are more safety conscious, environmentally conscious, you know, sustainable tourism. I have a lot of motivations behind it, but I instill those in my techniques of training. I think what we need to do is, instead of looking to revamp the design, okay, of how dive instruction is conducted, I think we need to educate the masses, you know, inform the masses what to look for in an educator. Currently, what should you be looking for in a dive instructor? You know, what are those traits? You know, we talk a lot about chemistry between the dive student and the dive instructor. That is critical, but there is certain skill sets and understanding that, look, these individuals go, you know, are they attending, if they're a PADI instructor, are they attending the quarterly training bulletin updates in person, reading them, staying on the cutting edge of the changes and what's going on in the industry? Are they reading the materials that are available out there for dive instruction and those changes in other agencies as well in order to be competitive, to be top line? Are they informed on the dive medicine side from Dan or some of these other regional medical sources that are giving resources out there for educators? Look, technology moves. Look at how it is in the computer industry. Technologies are the same in the dive industry now because we have closed circuit rebreathers, the computers that we use, algorithm change, modeling, all these factors are involved in the dive industry, and it is imperative that you're on top of it. I'm continually reading in order to ensure that I understand what's coming and how it's going to apply to me. You know, also taking the time to learn the environment in which you are conducting. I'm currently going on a move into a whole nother region in Busuanga. I am going to have to take the first month or two before we open in order to ensure that I am diving every day on the site so that I can navigate, I can guide, understand, you know, currents, topography, you know, the biodiversity to ensure I'm understanding of what the threats are. I have to do risk assessments on the sites because of the agency that I'm teaching with. So, you know, there's a learning curve on that too. Are these people doing this? Being an instructor, jumping from island to island to island, I think that kind of gives you a little bit of a, you're behind the learning curve on that. Instructors that are homegrown and they're in their environment for long periods of time and developing that environment give you a better baseline for not just scholastically on your dive education, but also your dive experience. All right, guys, just a quick conversation, nothing too deep. Wanted to kind of run it down and let you guys know my thoughts on it. Our move is well underway. By the time you have seen this, we're actually there. And, you know, we're looking forward to being able to give you content that's a little bit more relevant to the site and in the water. That's the big thing. We want to start being able to give you some underwater. Now, one of the cool things that we're trying to do also is work with the local environmental officer. We're going to start integrating some of what we can provide and support with their programs there, and we want to be able to video and get you interested in it. Maybe you can help out one way or the other. All right, I'm Don for Poseidon Deep Water Outdoors. Until next time, peace.